y'all? I am here. Well, I'm in the back too. Look at me. See, I am here to introduce you to a new segment on the Be Real with D Real page. Well, not a segment, but just kind of a series I'm doing. Feel like I get tired of it. This is a section I like to call "Make Crappy Marvel Movies Better." And I know what you're saying. Marvel movies have made billions upon billions of dollars. And why aren't you doing a make crappy DC movies better? Because I got more to work with in Marvel. And whether you believe it or not, there are crappy Marvel movies. I'm going to start off with my first crappy Marvel movie that we can make better. Okay. That honor has to go to Thor: The Dark World. Thor: The Dark World, while not a stellar movie, not an overly well-performing movie, it could have been better. It could have been way better. Okay? A lot of things happened in Thor: The Dark World that were just absolutely silly. And that's why bells are ringing, because Thor: The Dark World is absolutely not ringing because I need to turn off my notifications is what I need to do. And I'm going to do that after I finish this video so I don't get all of this bling, bling, blinging. Y'all love to call me. Anywho, first of all, the villain. A movie is only as good as its villain. I've said this many times before. And Malekith, whatever his name was, he was bland. He was boring. He was cookie cutter. He was very, very plain. His henchman with the curse was much more interesting if he wasn't doing nothing but just beating the crap out of Thor in the movie whenever he was in a scene with him, which I would have thought if he's a little bit smarter, he could be the main antagonist or the main villain in this movie. And that just never materialized. Then we had this whole thing going on about the convergence. The convergence is going to happen. Oh my goodness, the convergence. What are we going to do? And then you got this little dynamic where you're looking at all 9 of the worlds and they're lining up. And when they do line up, bad things are going to happen because someone's gotten hold of the ether, AKA the reality stone, and it's decided it wants to be inside of Jane Foster. Perfect excuse to take Jane Foster to Asgard. Much like Jane Foster has been taken to Asgard in the comic books. And in much the same way, she is responded to in the movie like she's responded to in the comics. Blah, we don't like you. Get out of here, Jane Foster. And basically that was it. Thor's mama died. That was a pivotal moment in the movie. Ultimately, there's a lot of bouncing around back and forth in different places. And I kind of thought what was going on with the spontaneous teleportation to different places, wouldn't that be more of an effect of the Tesseract or the Space Stone? I don't know. It displayed reality altering potential, but it wasn't that spectacular. If you got the reality stone at your disposal, arguably that is probably the most powerful of the stones as far as control is concerned. I know the soul stone, killing people, that's the best. But just for straight stunts and being able to do things offensively and defensively, the reality stone, that's your go-to. And I think the utilization of the reality stone was much underplayed. They took Thor: The Dark World. They took the opportunity to delve into Asgardian mythos a little more, but we never, ever, ever, until Infinity War, get to hear about the realm of the trolls and Eitri. You know who I was looking for. I wasn't looking for no Eitri. I was looking for Ulick. Ulick, the rock troll that him and Thor end up going at it. Never showed up once in all three of the Thor movies. Now, tell me that wouldn't have been a more interesting antagonist. Plus, he can talk and he says crazy things. Basically, think Darkseid's son Calabac on steroids, if that's even possible. Look at Calabac. He looks like a cross between Planet of the Apes, the old version, and Planet of the Apes, the new version. Wow. Anywho, though, basically, how do we make Thor the Dark World better? Well, like I said, number one, the utilization of the reality stone. That would have made it a lot better. If they had somehow like put Thor somewhere in some kind of reality where he didn't know that it was like a fake reality, and he coming to the realization of that he's in a bogus reality and be able to punch his way out of it, or just using the reality stone alone to wreak havoc on Asgard, on Midgard, that would have been a much better plot than that convergence thing. I not very well thought out at all. Give Thor some formidable antagonists to square off against. While Curse was cool, we didn't flesh him out enough. I didn't feel nothing about him. So when he died, it was just like, oh, he's another henchman. Is that what he was meant to be? He was the main henchman. He was the one that was punching Thor the most and taking shots from his hammer and like, ha, I laugh at your punk hammer. Like I said, somebody like Ulick, the rock troll, would have made a much better antagonist, or at least give Curse the motivation to beat Thor like he was beating him. Give him, make him, I wasn't feeling nothing from Curse. I mean, it was just like he just cookie cutter. Everything about the movie was cookie cutter. I probably would have utilized the Warriors 3 a little more. Hogan, Fandral, and Volstagg. I would have utilized them a little more. If they had made a love triangle between Thor, Jane Foster, and Sif. Because Sif gives her these looks, throughout the movie, and she kind of like, side eyes her, but there's never anything said about it. It's never spoken on. In the comics, Thor and Sif's a thing. Thor and Sif should have been a thing in the movie, and that would have made for a much more interesting dynamic between him, her, and Jane Foster. Getting at least maybe one other Avenger involved. That would have been a great time to start up hero team ups. You know what I mean? Maybe even Captain America or somebody. I don't know. Just Thor by himself is kind of a bland character. I like Thor, but cinematic Thor is just kind of meh. Maybe that's why they had him have a nervous breakdown in game to make him a more interesting character. Overall, I think those things, the love triangle, a better villain / henchman, better utilization of the reality stone would have made Thor the Dark World a better movie. What do y'all think? Drop it in the comments. And as always, comment, like, and subscribe to the Be Real with D-Real page. And I will be back with another one of them other ones. And until I am, y'all be good. Be good to each other.